Good evening and welcome to Gloucester High School football on Channel 10 Philadelphia Cable. I'm Bob Drowan along with J.D. McEachran. We come to you on a pleasant Saturday night. You're seeing our telecast on Tuesday as usual, but the Fishermen were rained out on Friday, but it's a pleasant evening here at Winthrop. We're doing some work on the field here, JD. They've had to eliminate some of the stands on the visitor side, and we still have the loud public address announcer here, as people may recall from our last telecast in Winthrop. Go, JD.
Okay, we'll bear up under the adversity that's off to our left. But the conditions look okay. There was a weather problem last night. The decision was made because of the weather forecast to move the game to Saturday night, which is too bad from a crowd standpoint. Winthrop coming in at 2-0, and the crowd may have obviously been far more interested on a Friday night than they appear to be on a Saturday night. It's kind of sparse over on this side. But Gloucester coming off what I think was a very good opening win over non-league rival Reading, and this starts their league play, and this starts the quest for the playoffs and the first step to the Super Bowl.
Winthrop is a storied program. Used to dominate the Northeastern Conference 20 years ago. They have a bit of a numbers problem now, JD, but they've also started off putting some big numbers on the board against Amesbury and Danvers. Amesbury and Saugus in their first two wins of the season. They have two capable backs. One is the senior Lucas Garino, and one is a sophomore Dan Wilson. They both scored 5 touchdowns. Wilson had a 4-touchdown game to start the season against Amesbury, and Garino went for 4 touchdowns last week. So Gloucester may have to maybe test a little bit more defensively tonight. They pretty much shut down Reading's running game last week.
I don't think you're going to do too much running on this Fisherman 11. We'll find that out. Winthrop does come in with 2 good running backs, but I think the defense strength is definitely against the run. We'll look to see if Winthrop wants to loosen Gloucester up a little bit by putting the ball up. The other thing that we have to keep an eye on, if you saw our cable cast, we were at the game last week. Nolan Ryan Nolan Ryan, I did it. Because you did it. Nolan Palazzolo. I've only known him since the day he was born, but I harkened back to Nolan Ryan as you did it to me last week. Nolan, as we saw, was all strapped up with his right shoulder. Talked to him a couple times during the week. He basically shrugs it off and says he's okay and he's ready to go and doesn't want to talk any more about it, so we're not going to talk any more about it.
Well, he's out there with his fellow tri-captains, Tyler Testaverde and Kyle Goodwin, Nolan Palazzolo, the 3 members of the backfield, the 3 veteran members of the backfield. And let's talk about the new member of the backfield for a second. 136 yards last week for Jamie Wall.
Auspicious debut, to say the least. Something for defensive coordinators around the league to factor in. But let's jump off here for a second while we do the Star Spangled Banner.
Okay, we are at Miller Field in Winthrop. We have a game between 2 undefeated teams. It's early in the season. It's a 2-0 Winthrop team. It's a 1-0 Gloucester team. Gloucester picked to win the Northeastern Conference once again. And the teams that are expected to give them the most trouble, Lynn Classical and Swampscott, but Lynn Classical, interestingly enough, has already had a 1-point victory. And Swampscott, although it was in the rain as we speak, it's last night, had a tough one against English. They only won 10-7 in overtime, J.D.
I understand it was a tough one. Some of the Gloucester people went up to watch it and said that Swampscott's TD came on a defensive play, that they didn't score offensively except for the field goal that won it in a tiebreak, and that's something we're going to have to keep our eye on. Don't know that Gloucester's going to be tested all that often to get into tiebreaker situations, but tiebreakers do exist now in the Northeastern Conference.
Gloucester will be receiving the kickoff. The tandem that we've seen for the last couple of years, Tyler Testaverde and Kyle Goodwin, are back. As always, we try and identify the other players on the kickoff team for you.
That's number 40, Matt Driscoll.
Up front, we see number 57, Jeremiah Leckleiter.
Nearest to us.
And we see number 65, Kyle Ryan, who plays some defensive line.
Set to go. Winthrop looks downfield, finishes their huddle. Now they spread out. Should note that Dave McMiniman, faithful spotter, is with us this evening, and we always appreciate David up here. He got some good insights into football, and we're underway.
Here's his kick. It's a short one, and it'll go for Goodwin.
Funny roll.
Doesn't pick it up. Now he's going to be hemmed in. And it's going to be a very effective kick for Winthrop. They're afraid they gave the kicker a little bit too much credit, J.D., and the funny bounce got Gloucester with bad field position to start the game.
Well, I think Kyle was expecting it to bounce up to him, and the thing stayed on the ground. It looked funny kind of rolling along there, and when Kyle had to wait a second to pick it up, there was good downfield coverage by Winthrop, and Gloucester backed up a bit.
And just to show we're on a roll as usual, the kickoff person is number 40, and he's not listed in the program. So we're off to another great start.
Okay. Well, we get stuck. My friend to my right.
Gloucester comes out in a tight formation. 1st and 10. Handoff over the right side with room. Good play over there. That could have gone for more. JD goes for about 5. Testaverde on the carry.
Testaverde on the carry. Okay.
That was Garino, the co-captain who plays defense. The tri-captain who plays defense. The other Winthrop captains are Brendan Murphy, 84 tight end, defensive end, and a familiar name on the North Shore, Mike Aruzioni Jr., who's a defensive back and sometimes appears in the offensive backfield. Once again, Gloucester goes to the tight formation on 2nd and 5. And here's the trap up the middle, and it's going to go for a first down and more. And Jamie Wall gets ahead for about 10. They have improved the press box a little bit here, JD, with the paint and some carpeting, but unfortunately, the windows are still a little bit...
the reflection is a little bit tricky, so...
Anyway,
peer out here.
Gloucester with their initial first down of the game. Man in motion. And they give this to Testaverde coming over the left side, and he'll get ahead for about 5 more.
Testaverde carried.
And that was a play where the man in motion got the ball, JD.
Fishman content to grind it out on the ground. Should note that Bob McClinchy is up on the roof, and it is a bit breezy here in Winthrop, so hopefully he's okay.
I put his sweatshirt on before he went up there and passed the mics to me, and everything seems fine. I'm probably less soggy than last night. Just underway. Gloucester on a drive.
Nice hand.
Here's Testaverde over the right side. Going to be close to another first down.
Testaverde carried.
Nolan faked it to the motion man, then gives it to Testaverde, who goes off the right side.
Patrick Milano brought him down.
It is a first down for Gloucester at the 35-yard line. And
trying to pick up yard markers over the far side.
As Winthrop tries to put more and more men to fight that passing attack, JD, Gloucester may be able to slip somebody into the secondary. Goodwin got deep twice last week, as Gloucester had just 2 pass completions, but they went for 75 yards.
I think Nolan was 2 for 2, I do believe.
Now we got Peter DeMeo, the sophomore, split out to the left.
Long count.
Testaverde in motion and
offside.
offside. Wall will
Things
get
going
ahead
on
for
there.
about 8. That may give Gloucester a decision whether they want to take the 8 yards or the 5 and a free play.
Nolan has done that a number of times. Long count, then he changes his voice, and he drew Winthrop that time. So they're going to get a choice between the yardage that Wall picked up or 5 free ones.
I think they're going to take it. Well, we'll see. They're talking it over.
They're refusing the penalty, so Wall.
One thing that certainly makes this wing T attack go is a good ball handling quarterback, and that's another trait of Nolan Palazzolo we shouldn't neglect.
No question. Nolan very good at putting the ball on his hip and having you guess where it is.
2nd and 2 Fishermen back to the tight formation. Goodwin in motion this time. Handoff is to Testaverde on the right side.
Good job.
And the ball is loose.
Picked up by
and this is going to be a Winthrop touchdown.
Winthrop's going to score.
And Winthrop jumps on top. And that was number 12, Alex
Smith on the
Smith.
recovery.
Alex Smith, who shares the quarterbacking duties. I would say it came from about 47 yards out, J.D.
Well, Testaverde goes off the right side. They had him bottled up over there. It looked like they had the play stopped. No whistle. Ball comes loose. Winthrop alertly comes up with it and takes it all the way back and gets himself on the scoreboard.
Oh, there's no doubt about the whistle. He was still going forward, and he was trying for yardage. The ball came loose, and Winthrop pounced on it. And Alex Smith is a junior quarterback defensive back. And we'll see if they kick here. It looks like Alex Smith is the holder, as he would be as a quarterback. And the other quarterback that we'll see here tonight, Anthony Fusillo, the coach's son.
Alternate, as we understand.
Yeah, and he's going to kick straight on. And the
good,
kick is up.
Kick.
And it's
Looks
good. So a shocker, 2 Gloucester first downs, the running attack working for Gloucester. And unfortunately for the Fishermen, they turn it over and Winthrop takes advantage.
Interesting quarterback holding and a quarterback kicking. I don't know if they'd have occasion to do anything off of that formation, but looking at Fusillo's kick, that's a pretty strong leg. Again, a conventional kicker straight ahead. With all the soccer kickers we see these days, it's unusual to see somebody kicking straight ahead. It's unusual to see the score that we see on the scoreboard. The Fishermen trail by 7.
Well, they have to do something about it.
Man, did I vote for that segue?
Yes. There was a time when you could only just cover a fumble, but unless it was in midair, but now you can pick it up off the ground.
Winthrop 7, Gloucester nothing.
So the Fishermen were grinding out some yardage, move the ball up towards midfield, fumble it away, and Winthrop takes advantage, and they come back out again for their second kickoff of the game.
Now we have to be careful that Gloucester doesn't get impatient, and that, because they were moving the ball, they have to keep that in mind.
That's number 40.
Pretty stiff wind is blowing. Actually, it's kind of comfortable in here. I'm trying to find a flag to see which way the wind is blowing. It's definitely a stiff wind. I'm not sure if it's not in Gloucester's face.
I've been informed the kickoff man is Matt Driscoll. This time it's a sensational kick. Caught over his shoulder by Testaverde. Testaverde comes up. He's going to lead.
On the sideline.
It's one blocker.
He's got some speed.
And he's going to go down inside the Winthrop territory. So that looked like a disastrous situation. Testaverde did a great job.
I'll tell you, he did a great job, too, is Driscoll, the kicker. He took on a blocker. Testaverde had come up the sideline. It looked like he had some running room up the sideline. Driscoll fought the blocker, and able to prevent Testaverde from going all the way, but Gloucester does put it into Winthrop territory. And we've got procedure against Winthrop refused on the kickoff.
I didn't know you could get a legal procedure on a kickoff. I just thought you were offside.
That'd be the signal that we just saw.
All right, well, it's great field position for Gloucester, JD, and we've said it once, we've said it a lot. Don't give Gloucester a short field. Testaverde over the right side. He's got some room.
Got some blocking.
Going to cut back, and he's going to get ahead for a first down. He'll be inside the 35-yard line, about 11-yard gain.
Goodwin out there.
Tyler Testaverde.
Can't see who else was out. Again, we got a little reflection problem here. We appreciate being out of the wind, but it's a little difficult to pick up numbers from the far side.
And
the scary part in the reflection, I can see myself.
The Winthrop numbers are really tough.
Yeah, Winthrop, forget that. I'm colorblind. You're going to have to go with Winthrop numbers.
Here's Goodwin left. Goodwin has a blocker. Goodwin gets to the outside, turns the corner for about 5.
Peter DeMaio out there gave Goodwin enough room to turn the corner and get some yardage.
Okay, we're going to get a good spot here, it looks like. So we're going to say that he got almost 7 yards.
Well, we do know a lot of speed in the backfield with Testaverde and Goodwin. And DeMaio got out there, just did enough to prevent having a block from behind. Gives Goodwin a little run at the corner, and he gets some yardage.
Nolan Pelzo under center. Here's
Straight
the
ahead to
fullback
Wall.
trap for the first down. Wall ahead for 4. Jamie Wall is 45. Kyle Goodwin is 11. Tyler Testaverde is 23. And Nolan Pelzo is 14. The Gloucester line, Chris Sullivan is number 31 this week. They can't find where his number 6 went. And he's the tight end, the transfer from Miami. And the tackles are Dan O'Connor, 68. Tyler Stropel, 52. The guards are Mike Mann, 54. Kyle White, 64. And Brendan Ciparini, 63 as the center. Tight formation for Gloucester.
Good job by their offensive line last week, I thought.
Excellent job. Here's Wall ahead for a couple. Nolan Pelzo, as he usually does when they're even down this far in the territory, he gets to come to the sideline. Look for the next play. It's going to be 2nd and 8. At the 21 for the Fishermen.
Well, the good thing is that Nolan has been QBing going into his 3rd year at Gloucester after coming over from Manchester. And I'm sure it doesn't take too much from offensive coordinator Paul Ingram to include Nolan into what he wants.
DeMaio, the split end, is just split out a couple of steps to the left.
Again,
count, could have been offside.
Yeah, there was some motion.
Also a good gain for Gloucester. Is the ball loose again? Oh, no? Okay.
Winthrop
that's
reacted.
after the whistle.
And again, Nolan with that head bob just before the snap. I wonder sometime.
Okay, I don't think they called offside, but it's very close to a Gloucester first down.
He definitely got Winthrop to move, but apparently they were not in the neutral zone when the ball was snapped.
Down 1 Gloucester, they're at the Winthrop 22-yard line.
All right, Gloucester is at the 13, 3rd and 1. Here's Testaverde right, cuts back for the first down, and it will be 1st and goal for the Fishermen.
Inside the 5, we'll wait for the spot.
Winthrop is certainly not a big team on the defensive line, JD.
No.
This Gloucester offensive line already looks like a done deal here. They look pretty impressive.
7-yard line.
All the backs have contributed on this drive. They stay with the tight formation. 1st and goal at the 7. Hand off over the left side for Goodwin. He's going to be wrapped up.
Got Corral from behind.
Yeah.
Little penetration defensively by.
Kyle Goodwin get the call.
Not sure.
Aaron Smith, 61, I believe.
Is it 61? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Aaron Smith, 61.
2nd and goal.
He penetrated and got a hold of Kyle coming out of the wingback spot and able to hang on.
Winthrop has 7 kids going both ways, which is the usual for them these days. Depth always a problem. 2nd and goal. Testaverde
Down to the goal line.
And he's in. Over the left side. That was a very good fake on that play, JD.
Good ball handling. Testaverde kind of picked his way through. He had a block and ends up stepping over the blocker a little bit and gets down to the goal line and leans himself in, puts Gloucester on the scoreboard.
45-yard drive by the Fishermen. All the plays on the ground, JD. Now they'll go for the tying kick, we believe. Kyle Keating had 4 for 4 against Reading last week.
Strong leg last week.
Backup quarterback, Vito Giacalone. Kick is up.
Out a little bit to the right, and
It
good.
just sneaks in there, I believe. And it's 7-7, 4:27 to go in the first quarter, and we'll get to see Winthrop on offense.
Well, Gloucester's offensive line, as you said, Bob Doan, has been the story of the first period. Drive and a half. The first half of their first drive resulted in a fumble and a Winthrop touchdown. Gloucester takes the second kickoff back to midfield and just runs it right at the Vikings, and Testaverde scores.
And that's his third touchdown of the season. He had 2 last week, one for Goodwin, one for Wall. Leo Latraverse is the kickoff man for Gloucester. Also, we'll see some time at tight end, and he'll see plenty of time at linebacker.
I think on that extra point kick by Keating, and we may see it here on the Latraverse kickoff, I think Gloucester's definitely going into the wind.
Yeah, it would seem that way.
Now that I can see the flags on the goalpost.
Nobody's going to say that Miller Field is the best lighted one in the conference.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. I thought it was me.
Okay.
In fact, you can't even see. There's a pretty good Gloucester crowd over there, I think.
They could be there.
Lucas Garino and deep for Winthrop.
Decent for a Saturday night with a rain out.
Oh.
Kick is not a good one, and it's almost like an onside kick.
Close to being an onside kick. Good
Winthrop's
job of coverage over there.
Good position at the 40-yard line. That was a mishit, I think you must say.
And I'm sure with the wind in your face, the temptation is to maybe drive it a little extra hard, and I think in doing so, it kind of squibbled off his foot to the right, and alertly, good job by somebody over there on the far side for Winthrop, because a couple of fishermen were bearing down on him.
We see Alex Smith, number 12, checking in quarterback. Lucas Garino is number 28. Brendan Murphy, 84, split out to the right. Pass play over the middle. He's got a man. Garino comes out of the backfield. He gets ahead for about 18 yards on the play.
That was number 12,
So
Alex Smith.
Smith showed a pretty good arm on that. A nice catch by Garino.
First down with the Vikings.
So the ground game so highly touted, and they elect to put it up.
Dan Wilson is 35. The other end for Winthrop is number 36, Matt Duplin. The tackles are Adam Sullivan, 78, and Jordan Cresta, 71. We've got 1st and 10. They give it a 17-yard gain on the play to the 43. Here's the other quarterback. Frizzolo's going to run now, and he's going to get ahead for about 6 as he rolled out. No one open on that play, JD, but the sophomore showed some decent speed.
Well, I absolutely cannot pick up these Winthrop numbers, but he got a good block downfield. When he saw that, he pumped a couple of times. He saw Gloucester wasn't biting for the pumps, but he had a pretty good block downfield, so he tucks it under his right arm and goes and gets a couple of yards for himself.
Fusillo is number 16. He's a little bit bigger than Smith. He's about 6'2", and he's only a sophomore. Smith puts a man in motion. It's Garino. He runs left, and he's going to cut back, and he's going to hit ahead for close to a first down.
Good cut back and a little spin off the tackle. Looked like they had him stopped short of the first. He spins off that tackle, puts the ball inside the 35. They get a call for a measurement.
Garino goes about 205 pounds, and Wilson is only about 155, according to our program. 3:08 to go in the first quarter. I'm Bob Drowan along with J.D. McEachran. Up on the roof is Bob McGlinchey, our camera person producer. Happy to bring you Gloucester High football on Channel 12 Philadelphia. It's a first down for Winthrop, so they're moving the ball on offense now. And if you figure the fishermen have to be a little bit of a favorite, since they're a favorite in the conference, JD, what do we always know? The more a team can stay even with a team that's perhaps favored over them, the better chance they have of pulling the upset. Shotgun. Over the middle.
Deflected.
And that one could have been picked off. It looked like it was deflected by maybe a lineman.
It could have been. Mike Mann dropped, and somebody else was back there with him, and I think it might have been Pizzamenti. I think it was deflected. They go out of the shotgun.
And we have a 2nd and 10 from the 33, and we have Alex Smith back at the controls, and he's going to go from the shot. No, he's going to go from the tee, from under center. And this is a handoff that's not going to work.
Slipped.
The
As soon
player
as he took the
stumbled. I
handoff.
think it was Garino. Oh, no, it was Wilson on the draw. And that one just didn't work at all.
Probably wasn't going anywhere anyway.
The handoff was not effective. So they were trying to show something different after showing Gloucester quite a bit of their offense in just the first few plays. We'll call it no gain on that play, 3rd and 10.
Because we're in the old proverbial 2-down territory.
And this is a rollout. He's got a man on the sideline, wide open. And that was Brendan Murphy, the captain, the tri-captain, number 84.
Reed has to wrestle him out of bounds, but they get the first down.
Just your basic down and out. Basically one receiver in the pattern, JD.
Drives off the defender, throws it out to the sideline. Nice throw, good catch. And Reed able to drive him out, but big first down for Winthrop.
1st and 10 at the 18. Now they have 2 receivers out to the left, one basically in the slot. Garino in motion. Handoff is up the middle. That didn't work.
Now
good penetration by the Gloucester line, but the handoff was basically sloppy, JD.
Got in too close to one another and actually almost ran him over. Smith, the quarterback.
All right, we have motion on the play, and I don't think Gloucester has a choice on this one because it was before. So it's 1st and 15.
Ball was snapped.
They might have chosen to take 2nd and 11 if they had a choice, but that was a done deal also. But of course that's tough. You don't want to be having to get 1st and 15 when you get in this area of the field when you have a chance to score. Inside the 20, of course, the overused red zone. But right now they're outside the 20 again. So I think that was about a 4.5-yard penalty, but I don't want to criticize the officials.
Okay.
Okay.
We've taken a pledge.
Alex Smith is the quarterback, and the handoff is to Garino, and their running game straight up the middle is not going anywhere, and they look like they're slipping.
They definitely, on a couple of the cuts, the tackle was made by Mann. Mann came right up into the hole, and I think that forced the cutback as much as anything, but they are slipping down a bit.
And it seems to me as if the alternating quarterbacks make it hard for there to be any rhythm to the running game. It's not hurting the passing game so far. Seven game, 1:25 to go in the first quarter. Winthrop on the move, looking for the quick pass, and there's a penetration. There's a sack by Pizzamenti. Great job, and he also made the play so that he couldn't throw the ball. Couldn't throw the play.
He's just shot in, absolutely untouched, and you're right, Bob Joe, and he had him wrapped up so that he wasn't going to be able to get that away.
Vince Pizzamenti, the senior linebacker. The defensive backfield is Ishai King, 24 at safety. The 2 corners are Testaverde and Goodwin. Now we see a receiver out to the right, and we see Garino go in motion. And this
flag
is a
again.
Draw play,
but
Wilson,
there's a flag.
But there is a flag. We'll see what
Throw
it is.
from the far side.
And that was almost a Statue of Liberty draw play.
Kind of threw showed the ball up in the air, then dropped it down, and that's what differentiated it from as we're going offside.
Gloucester. That play's going to count.
So Winthrop will take the yardage.
But now they're going to be looking at 4th down.
Inside the 20, trying to see where the down marker is.
They picked up 13 yards, and they're going to be 4th and 9. All right, but I think they have to take that yardage. Okay, the clock moving once again. They may let the clock run out and see what they want to do between the periods. I think they are going to let the clock. They're taking a timeout. That's interesting.
They get the wind at their back.
That's
so.
Okay, the case. All right, now they may be thinking about a field goal. I don't know.
Let's see.
That was a very interesting draw play.
You're right. It almost looked a little bit, although a Statue of Liberty, normally you keep the ball up and the guy comes around behind. But he showed the ball up and then handed it down low. And good play up the middle. Fisherman looking a little bit of pass. And they did get some yardage. And now they're going to have a little conversation on the sideline. Do they take the 3-point attempt or
Well, it would also be a healthy field goal attempt.
Well, again, maybe that's why they wanted to keep the wind at their back.
Would be a 36-yarder probably. 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Easily the biggest play of the early going in the game because Winthrop, in spite of the fact that they haven't shown they can stop Gloucester except by a turnover, they do have some momentum here in the fact that they have control of the ball for a more than 40-yard drive, and they'd like to sustain it.
Well, and if you're going to keep your confidence level up as underdogs, Winthrop has to convert something out of this, particularly if Gloucester were to take over and go right back down the field again. They line it up for a field goal, but remember, we got a quarterback holding and a quarterback kicking, so let's see what, if they get a little trickery.
It's going to be about 34 yards. Kick is down.
Whoa, strong enough and far enough.
Good. So they talked it over and they went for the field goal.
Well, that's showing confidence in your kicker and your holder and your snapper.
And once again, he's a straight-on kicker, J.D.
And he had a little margin there also. He could add 5 yards to that total, but obviously the key was keep the wind at your back, call the timeout, and show confidence in your kicker.
And Winthrop back on top, 10-7. And did anybody in this room think that Winthrop would be ahead twice in this game?
No.
All right. The good news is the Gloucester
Gloucester's going to get
offense
the ball back again.
is back on the field. They benefited from an excellent about a 50-yard return by Tyler Testaverde, and then they drove 40 yards for their first touchdown to tie the game after the fumble return. Now Winthrop with a nice drive inside the Gloucester 20. Big draw play after they were looking at 3rd and 22, and they opted to go for the field goal, and it paid off.
An interesting first period of high school football.
First quarter of the score, Winthrop 10, Gloucester 7.
Because the first period is over, Fisherman will now be going from our left to right. Winthrop huddled up over on the sideline.
Oh, they decided that the field goal took that amount of time. All right, so we'll go with the second quarter. So Winthrop will kick into the wind.
Terry Silver quoted as saying some nice things about the Winthrop coach, Tony Vasillo. He has a reputation around the league as being a good coach. He just has to work with some manpower problems.
See Greg Kendall, number 58 on the Gloucester kickoff team. Kyle White, 64. DeMaio is up front. Good kick.
Hangs up
Good
a little
win
bit.
at the 14. Comes to the right side, and he's got good pursuit there.
Ball's
Loses the
loose,
ball,
but
goes
out of
out of bounds. Got to be careful with that football. That was almost a mid-air exchange.
Went straight up in the air, but clearly out of bounds. So Gloucester will take over.
Gloucester should have it at about the
23.
22.
No, 22, okay.
Okay. And so once again, Winthrop is looking at
Make
a long
it the
field.
21 now that we see where they spot the ball.
First and 10 Fishermen, just underway in the second quarter. Winthrop on top, 10-7. Handoff. No, that's a fake. Palazzo looks deep.
Pops. Throws deep. He's got Goodwin.
And just a little bit to the left. Goodwin broke open kind of late, J.D., and Palazzola, I think, took a while to get away from the pursuit.
Tough throw by Palazzola. He's going to his left. He gave it a little bit of a pump. That got Goodwin free by a step or two, but he didn't have much room to get it in there. He got a pretty good throw downfield, and that's a tough toss for a right-hander going to his left.
We got a break for the Fishermen here. We got a 15-yarder.
Oh, I didn't see a flag. Let's see what the signal is. Major.
Oh, actually, we got a 16-yarder.
Personal foul.
Even better.
Roughing the passer. So the pressure was on Nolan. He got it off under pressure, and he got whacked after he got rid of it. And
Did they
15
start at the
yards.
21 last time? And did they get to the 37? That's a 16-yard penalty. I don't care what you say. All right, big break for Gloucester. Now Wall drives through for about 8.
Good. hole over the right side.
Yeah.
Man with a kick-out block.
Again, Chris Sullivan, who you saw wearing number 6 last week, is number 31, tight end. Made his Gloucester High debut last week. Transfer. Goodwin is split out to the right, or not split to the right, but set to the right. Tight formation. Goodwin in motion. Handoff is up the middle for Wall. Wall breaks a tackle. Wall steams ahead. And that's another 7 yards for Jamie Wall.
Gloucester offensive line saw Chipperini go blasting out after centering. Now we got flags all over the place. So something happened, and it's going to be a dead ball. I'm not sure if Winthrop can get a little lippy afterward. Dead ball, personal foul.
Wow, against Winthrop, they can't do this.
No,
they can't lose their poise like this.
Wall, though, showed some good strength on that. The offensive line gave him a little penetration into the Winthrop secondary. Then Wall breaks a couple of tackles after that.
And that's another big penalty. That's well, technically 30 yards of penalties, 31 according to my statistics. But two powerful runs
Winthrop
by Jamie
calls
Wall.
timeout. I'm sure Coach Facilla wants to calm things down here a little bit. Dead ball after Wall bowled his way ahead for some yardage, and not only one referee heard or saw the transgression, but 2 flags flew on that. So either.
Well, I think they might have been a little bit frustrated they had so much trouble taking him down. But I mean, tackling is part of the game. If you're having trouble tackling, you can't react the way they did.
And it might have not been physical. Could have been verbal. They try to keep a lid on it as far as the language and what have you goes. Coach Facillo certainly doesn't want to be giving Gloucester 15 yards at a whack via the penalty.
This drive started at the 21-yard line. 2 big penalties against Winthrop and 2 solid runs by Jamie Wall. And Gloucester is in Winthrop territory and looking to retake the lead. Not retake the lead, but take it.
Take it.
All they have managed so far is a 7-7 tie. Ball marked at the 36-yard line of Winthrop. Coach Facillo hopefully has calmed down his troops. Gloucester offensive line so far has been the dominant factor in this game, but not the dominant factor on the scoreboard. Chipperini leads them out. Palazzolo under center, good one to the right. Good one in motion. And Gloucester jumps off.
Clearly offside. Nolan, again, with a bit of a long count, and then he goes with a hard couple of, whatever he says, be it hot or whatever. And the right side of the Gloucester offensive line got off a step or a hut too quick.
Well, Gloucester certainly doesn't want to give themselves a first and 15.
Winthrop's giving them 15, so I'll give them 5 back.
Yeah. But they still have good field position at the 41-yard line. They have a receiver set out to the left this time. Handoff is Testaverde to the right side, a big hole. He'll get ahead for about 8.
Again, leading the way out there was Tyler Stropel. Testaverde got in behind Stropel, got some yardage, got the penalty yardage plus a couple back.
2nd and 7 for Gloucester. I'm going to call it at the 33. The 32. Handoff to Wall. No, the fake. Palazzolo keeps it.
Nice
Sorry,
fake.
good fake.
About 3 people went after Wall. Yeah. Nolan with a nice fake, but he kind of gets himself out there by himself. Then on that play, you're not really going to have blocking.
And he gets it
got a third
about 5-6 yards, and he's going to be
maybe a long one.
Yeah. They need to get it inside the 26-yard line. So it's a long one.
Third down, one, Gloucester.
Wall gets it, and Wall is going to be
Keeps the
close.
legs going.
Yeah.
Wall carry.
Winthrop did jam things up a little bit, but Wall had enough forward momentum. Should have the first. No, they say a little bit
No.
short. Okay.
They don't give him much at all.
No. Winthrop did a good job of kind of clogging things up there. Looked like Wall had some forward momentum, but not enough.
10-7 Winthrop. Big play for the Fishermen here in the second quarter. They want the momentum back.
QB sneak behind the offensive line.
We'll look for a good line surge no matter what, JD. It is a
QB
quarterback
sneak
sneak.
behind
It
the
is a good
offensive
line
line.
surge.
Nolan Palazzolo got the call
Out.
out.
2 for 2 in calls. I'm not making any more this game. Made one the first game. Made one the second game.
Red hot. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? I mean the big one, not the...
Long way to go.
All right, big first down for Gloucester. Keep the momentum in their favor. They want to get on into the lead. And we're under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. DeMaio split out to the right. Testaverde in motion.
Nolan.
Straight drop back. He's got DeMaio in the corner, and that's a little bit too far. DeMaio made a bit of a double move there, JD.
There was a little contact, just enough to throw DeMaio off a little bit, I think. Nolan anticipated that he was going to be able to get loose a little easier than he ended up being able to get loose.
And
put it out there in the corner. Peter, again, nice story, good athlete, future as a basketball player, but very much wanted to play football, and here he is as a sophomore starting.
and big shoes to fill.
Yes, indeed.
Second and 10, Gloucester. Long count. Testaverde in motion.
No flags.
Pitches to Testaverde. Good play by Garino there. A lot of people took the ball for Winthrop.
Again, it looked like there was some
66,
movement.
Brian
Excuse me.
Bro there.
Go ahead. There looked to be some movement in that Winthrop defensive line, but no flag, but good pursuit by Winthrop.
I also thought that Wall might have moved too. So they could have gone, and there was no call at all.
Tyler Testaverde carry into
Third and 10.
Stone, made the
This
stop.
is 2-down territory for the Fishermen. So unless they were to lose a substantial amount on this play.
Step up.
Man in motion.
Ball
Ball is
Ball
loose.
loose. Nolan falls
They
on
went
it.
with the fullback trap to Wall, and everything was wrong with that play.
Fortunately, it didn't bounce at all when it hit the ground, and Nolan
carry.
able to pounce on it immediately.
They're at the Winthrop 24-yard line.
So Winthrop has shut down Gloucester for the last 3 plays. Winthrop,
Come on, Patrick.
Gloucester will go for it on 4th and 11.
Paul Ingram has something he wants to try. Nolan wasn't even halfway over there before
As always,
Ingram had given him the
have to
play.
you have to look for Goodwin on a play like this.
Long count.
And straight drop back. Goodwin stays in now, and
No.
oh, and he
No,
didn't
that
catch
had
it.
to
No.
bounce. That had to
Goodwin
bounce.
was
It was
the safety
deflected, I
valve.
think.
It was deflected, yeah. And Winthrop holds.
It was a forward pass. It was deflected. Goodwin picked it up on the bounce.
Goodwin was supposed to hold his block for 1 count, then go out into the flat.
He looked tremendous.
And it's 10-7 Winthrop. And please, God, let Gloucester win, because otherwise this announcer here for Winthrop is going to be insufferable.
He is insufferable.
He's already insufferable. Okay.
He is well known for being insufferable. Catch him on.
As long as we win, I can tell him he's insufferable.
Catch him on. No. Don't even.
No,
don't indulge him. Win, lose, or draw.
Just give him a little insufferable wink. 6:08 to go. Winthrop ball. A good stand by Winthrop. They obviously have some good players out there. This is a sweep that goes nowhere. Good one with the tackle, I believe.
3 white shirts out there. That wasn't going anywhere.
And,
They Gloucester strung it out nicely,
Leo LaTraverse was there also.
as was Reed.
Kenny Wilson carry.
Goodwin ends up making the play, but Gloucester strung that out.
Wilson carried on the play. He had the big gain of 13 yards on that draw play that helped set up the field goal. Fusillo is at the quarterback spot right now in this play. He's going to roll left. He's got to be in the flat. It's going to be close to a first down. Garino in the flat. And two Gloucester players went with the wide receiver, JD, and nobody covered Garino.
Right. They sent the wide out down a little deep. They rolled the guy underneath. The two defenders got caught in Neverland, both, I think, breaking on the deep guy. And they show underneath, and they get themselves out of a hole and get a first down.
I'd have to say, out of the two quarterbacks thus far, although Smith had the nice completion on the first offensive play of the game, Fusillo seems to have the stronger arm. But it's Alex Smith in there right now. They alternate the quarterbacks, obviously. They send the plays in with their quarterbacks. It's working thus far. Here's Smith with a deep toss.
Ball loose.
Knocked away by Goodwin.
Good coverage by Goodwin.
And the safety was coming over too. Once again, it was basically your one-man pattern.
Ball knocked up in the air. That would have been a break for the fishermen, but they couldn't quite get under for the interception. It goes incomplete. But you're right. That he was the only receiver out there. Period. And you're not going to get that by Goodwin.
All right. Brendan Murphy is set out to the right once again. And
they're coming, Gloucester.
It's a blitz and plenty of room to throw and run.
He could have run easily. He elects to throw. It's a completion.
He's got Murphy over there by the 50-yard line, and that should be another first down.
Credit the Winthrop offensive line. They Gloucester sent at least a couple of their linebackers. Winthrop picked it up nicely. And as you said, who was the quarterback?
That was Fusillo.
That was Fusillo. Fusillo had plenty of running room, but he throws a nice pass out into the right flat, and Winthrop is over midfield into Gloucester territory.
Just a skosh. First and 10, just inside Gloucester territory. Tighter formation this time for Winthrop. They'd like to get something going on the ground. They do get something going on the ground, and down on the cut. Whoa. That was Michael Ruzioni on that carry.
And when he attempted to make a cut, he slips down. Right. Again, the Winthrop running backs have had trouble on this field, more so than I think the Gloucester backs. But big gain for Ruzioni over the 40, and another big Winthrop first down.
And they're getting some yardage in chunks against Gloucester now.
Gaining some confidence.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
4.5 minutes remaining in the half.
Brendan Murphy split out to the left. Handoff, and this is a reverse, and it's not going to get too much. It was very slow developing. Garino got 1 yard, but they had Gloucester going the wrong way a little bit, JD, but the handoffs were not smooth.
I think that's O'Connor. He kind of stayed home on that.
Dan O'Connor, 68.
They do pick up a couple, but I think O'Connor kind of stayed put and didn't let that develop the way it looked like it was going to develop.
O'Connor and Rob Morrissey are the defensive ends. Nate Denon's the defensive tackle. Here we have pressure.
He's got running room.
And he's going to go down. A good open field tackle over there.
Can't see who's getting up.
I think it was Goodwin.
It should be Goodwin over there.
Over on the left corner.
Yes, it is.
It's going to be about 3rd and 6.
Goodwin stays on
I'm sorry. They get a good spot, and it's going to be about 3rd and 4.
Goodwin stayed on the sideline. Got some defensive instructions from Coach Cato.
Mike Mann and Tyler Stropel are the inside linebackers for Gloucester, 54 and 52. Vince Pizzamente had the big sack earlier. Number 40 on the outside, Jack Reed on the other side. And here's a handoff over the right side. Tackle broken, but not a first down.
Good, nice tackle there.
The second tackle was a good one. Nate Denon there.
Might have been Nate Denon.
Yeah.
And again, we apologize. The good thing is the camera angle is such that I'm sure they're getting, the people at home on Tuesday night are going to get a lot better look than we are. Anything away from us is difficult to pick up, but Nate Denon was certainly there.
65, Kyle Ryan checks in the defensive line.
Now Winthrop with a big 4th down play.
4th and 2. Their running attack, not that great thus far, although they come close. And this is a rollout by the quarterback. He's got plenty of room. And the junior, Alex Smith, that was a straight rollout all the way, JD.
As naked as it comes, fake the ball inside. Gloucester pinches in a little bit. Smith comes out. Doesn't look like he's got blazing speed, but he had enough speed. He gets the corner and gets a big, big first down for Winthrop.
8-yard pickup by Alex Smith. First down with the Vikings.
First down at the Gloucester 22.
22-yard line.
Coming up on the 2-minute period that will
2-minute
the
warning.
Officials will alert the benches. Winthrop has used 2 timeouts thus far in the game. Time probably not too much of a factor unless they were to really grind it out here, JD.
Now they should have a couple of timeouts. And the 2-minute warning gives them an additional one.
Murphy is split out to the right. Brendan Murphy, 84. Out to our left in front of us. Handoff over the right side. This is Wilson, and this is strung out nicely by the Gloucester defense. And it looks like Winthrop is going to have a lot of trouble running wide, JD.
No, they have not been that successful running wide. Again, 3 or 4 white jerseys going along the line of scrimmage. Might have picked up a couple, but...
we'll give it a 1-yard gain on the play.
And a running play like that, too, keeps the clock moving. As you said, the clock not a major factor.
Okay, we've got Smith back in as quarterback. He rolls left. He's looking to run again.
Breaks a tackle.
There's a tackle. He's going to go inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal. And that was a very big missed tackle, JD.
Doesn't get out of bounds, so Winthrop is going to take a timeout.
Well, first the first down stops the clock.
But they do call a timeout.
They do call time? Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Now the signal comes. And not so sure. I might think that if you could hear the announcer in the background, we might be able to hear the Gloucester coaching staff at halftime from wherever they go to talk this first half.
Well, they go across the street to the school, but I would say it's probably going to be, shall we say, animated.
I'll give Winthrop credit, though. They're playing some good football here.
Yeah,
And
they got a break with the fumble. They converted on that, but they, as you said, Bud Rowan, underdogs, if you let them stay around, it builds their confidence, and they're showing some things on offense. Gloucester able to stop the wide stuff, but when they've needed to get some yardage, they've gotten it.
It's not the wide stuff by the running backs,
right?
But not the wide stuff by the quarterbacks.
Exactly.
And I've never been a big fan of alternating quarterbacks on any level, maybe Pee-wee's, but it's working for Winthrop so far tonight. And if they can put some points on the board here, it's going to get real interesting.
Gloucester's entire defense went over to the sidelines. Coach Cato and Terry Silver talking.
First and goal for Winthrop, just inside the 10-yard line. Fusillo is the quarterback. 2 receivers out to the right, rolling right.
Pressure gets away from it.
Gets away from the pressure, and that's going to be thrown out of the end zone. I think he might have been thrown that away, Brad.
Yeah. Good coverage back there. Is that Goodwin?
I think
it is. Yeah. Boy, it's really dark down in that corner.
It's really dark in that corner, yes.
I'm sure. No, I think that's Reed. I believe that's Reed out there on the coverage. It is. It's 10, not 11.
10, all right.
You can see the 1. Now we can see that it was Reed. Good coverage. Forced them to throw it a little bit to the outside. Goes incomplete. That stops the clock. Unless they turn it over, they'll get 3 more cracks at it.
Clock shows 1:02. Again, it's unofficial, but they're pretty close once they.
Oh, this young lady to my
minutes.
right is on top of it.
Smith is the quarterback. Sends the man in motion with his foot. Handoff up the middle and worked for about 1 second, but then Gloucester reacted.
Timeout.
Middle is on the play. I think that Winthrop would certainly go for a field goal if they don't get any yardage there, as they tried to shoot Eruzione on a little trap play that didn't work. But I think they almost have to go for 3 if they're 8 or 9 yards away, J.D.
I would agree. They get themselves a bit of an angle. They're on the left hash, so unless they get the ball more directly to the more into the middle of the field, so they have more of a direct kick. Again, that's the direction, which is a pretty strong wind. It'd be blowing against them. So this would be a little bit of a tough angle if the ball were to stay at this angle. But I think you're right. Unless they get it down to about the 1 yard line or less, I think you'll see the field goal.
It is Fusillo. Man in motion. He rolls left. He's got a man at the goal line, knocked out by Testaverde.
Testaverde, good defensive play.
Looking for Brendan Murphy, and it was a bullet pass.
Testaverde played the ball very nicely all the way.
And we'll see if they're going to go for 6 or 3.
This is a very, very difficult angle.
Yeah.
Now they're going to call timeout again.
And that gives us time to thank our supporters for these telecasts. Glover's Floor Covering, the Sports Zone, Chickaloni Construction, and the Cape Ann Savings Bank. We thank them for supporting the telecasts of Gloucester High School Athletics on Adelphia Channel 12.
So good defensive play. They had plenty of field out to the right. As we said, the ball is on the left hash, but they rolled to the left, had a receiver right in the corner, right on the goal line, but Testaverde gave him no room, read the pass nicely. It was a hard-thrown ball and a pretty well-thrown football, but Testaverde played it perfectly. And so it's decision time on the Winthrop side. And the coaches are talking as much to, the Winthrop coaches are talking as much to one another as they're talking to the kids. So
there's only so many plays in that playbook. All right, Gloucester comes back.
Well, you know they'd love to put a touchdown up there, and instead of the field goal or the field goal try.
And probably in their heart of hearts, they think that they need a touchdown to win the game.
Oh, how do they come back? They're coming back.
They're going to go for it.
They're going for it.
Murphy's out to the left. Eruzione's right behind the quarterback. Garino's on the wing. Wilson in motion. Smith.
Screen.
This is a bad play.
No.
That was a bad play. They should have tried the field goal if they're going to call that one.
I don't know where that came out of the playbook, but Gloucester absolutely positively had that one figured out. There had to be at least 6 white jerseys and the one Winthrop kid out there. They did complete it, but that you could see as soon as he let it go was going nowhere.
That was bad use of a timeout.
Well, the thing is, too, he's got his back to the play. He's fortunate that Gloucester was about 2 steps. If they were 2 steps closer, that's a pickoff, and they're going a long way the other way.
The way the kid had to catch it, if he got hit right as he caught it, it could be Gloucester with a fumble.
Wall
up the middle.
Gloucester.
And that's probably going to do it. Oh, now we have a timeout.
Yeah, that was probably a play. If they got it pretty far upfield, they might have looked down too.
All right. Well, they were hoping that they could bust one. Now they're going to maybe put it up.
Well, I think they'll do the same thing: is run the ball, and then if they can break something up near midfield or further, then I think you see them throw it to the end zone. But
and why not get to use
I made my one successful guess for the game. That's all I'm going to make.
All right, we'll see if this DeMaio is split out to the right. Testaverde is a little bit more to the right than usual.
Long count again.
Testaverde in motion.
Nolan is going to throw it. Yeah,
has a
he's
short
got a little
pass
safety
to
valve.
Wall. And
good field, good downfield coverage by Winthrop.
they had Sullivan actually kind of deep downfield.
Sullivan was deep downfield. Wall was the safety valve over on this side. Nolan tried to get it to him. He couldn't.
Well, if they throw an incomplete pass here, they'll have to punt. And that's something we haven't seen in the first half.
Not sure if Winthrop hasn't used all of their timeouts. They may not be able to stop the clock.
DeMaio split to the right again. Testaverde in motion. This is Testaverde over the left side. He's got some room. He's got a lot of room.
He's got blocked and he stumbles.
He made the cut, and if
he I think, could have gone.
Well, Alex Smith there had an angle on him, but it would have been interesting.
He had man and he had DeMaio out there with him.
We're going to see a couple.
He needed one block. If he could have come back to this side, that could have been some fun.
Yeah.
Because I think he had two blockers there, and he needed one of them to help him out, and I think he could have gone. But he stumbles, but he does get Gloucester the first down, so they maintain possession.
They are at the 45-yard line, and they have 21 seconds left. And if anybody remembers what happened at the end of the half in the Super Bowl last year, you know that 21 seconds can be a long time.
In spite of what John Madden said.
Yeah.
Let me take a second here. I gotta correct a little oversight. Apparently, there's a little concern that we may have missed somebody when we talked about the people that helped out at the concession stand and getting that all together. And we went by the list that we were handed, and we understood the list came from Walter Wilkins, and that he probably deliberately left his name off, being the modest soul that he is. But it turns out somebody was concerned enough about the omission that they called cable. So Walter Wilkins was the overseer on the project, and we regret that we kind of made an assumption that he didn't want some recognition.
Palzola looks Goodwin on the sideline. Goodwin needs to get out of bounds. And Goodwin doesn't get out of bounds, but it should be a first down.
They call timeout.
And they get to the 41-yard line, and this we know. Nolan Palazzola can hoist it up there and get that ball to the end zone from there, J.D. We got 6 seconds showing on the clock.
Yeah, they'll just have the one try at it. But
if we get a jump ball, we have a basketball player in Goodwin's capability, although he unfortunately hurt himself and didn't get to play too much last season. 10-7 Winthrop. Big surprise here at Miller Field. Gloucester paying for a turnover early in the game. They've had some solid offensive moments, but they've only got 7 points to show for it. They just stopped Winthrop when they made the bid to get an even larger lead after they added a field goal.
I think they'd love to hit Goodwin a little deep over the middle with some running room, but they got Testaverde split out to this side, too.
Testaverde split right.
Nolan under pressure.
He's going to get away from the pressure. And now
keeps on taking the ball. Now he's got
he's going to go down. It's going to be a loss. And that should do it for the first half. So certainly a lot of exciting football out there, JD. And we see the unusual, a fairly long field goal in high school. And that field goal has Winthrop on top, 10-7.
I thought it was a pretty interesting half of high school football. Winthrop hangs tough. They take a lead into the locker room at halftime, and we will be back for the second half.
Action between the Winthrop Vikings and the Gloucester Fishermen. The Gloucester team spent a little extra time in that locker room, JD. They're just getting back on the field.
Well, a lot of things to talk about, I'm sure. And they coming back to the sideline. They're going to be kicking off. Winthrop, good for. I don't like the scoreboard, but I like the first half. I thought it was a pretty good high school football game.
Yes, the scoreboard reads 10-7, and Winthrop has a defensive touchdown and a fumble return by their quarterback Alex Smith, about 47 yards, we call it. Gloucester responded with a 45-yard touchdown drive after a 50 yard kickoff return by Tyler Testaverde. Testaverde took it in for the score. It was 7-7 with 4:27 left in the first quarter before Winthrop ran an offensive play. Since then, though, they caught up. They had the two good drives. One resulted in a 34-yard field goal by Anthony Fusello, who is the coach's son, and he also alternates the quarterback with Alex Smith. And the captains are out there again just for the going through the motions. It will be Gloucester kicking off. They received the first half kickoff. And so Winthrop went on top with a 34-yard field goal. Then they had another nice drive at the end of the half until they called this weird screen pass on 4th and goal from the 8-yard line. Lost 9 yards. Gloucester tacked on the yardage that they lead it by the half. Testaverde got a nice run. Otherwise, the teams would be about even in yardage, despite the fact it seemed like Gloucester had the ball more because of the way the game started, J.D.
Well, a little curious call or two offensively for Winthrop down there. The end of the half had an opportunity to possibly go for the field goal or convert a touchdown, but they opted. They didn't get the ball to the middle of the field, and they came back with, as Bob Drowan put it, a bit of a ill-conceived, shall we say, screen pass. So that's the first half. In spite of all of it, Gloucester's only trailing by 3.
But Winthrop thinks they can win, and it's up to Gloucester to force that idea out of their heads.
Well, Gloucester kicking off will have the wind at their back, and this first defensive series will tell a lot about how much paint was blistered off the walls in whatever locker room the fishermen were in at halftime. Terry Silva noted for his fiery oratory.
LaTraverse will kick off.
Leo LaTraverse will do the kicking for the fishermen, as you can probably hear in the background. We play 11-minute quarters in the Northeastern Conference. It's 10-7 Winthrop. The deep man for Winthrop is Wilson, number 35 in the middle. Gorino is on one side and Eruzione on the other. We see 76 Mike Tarantino on the kickoff team for Gloucester. I mentioned him yet. Short kick comes up to Wilson, gets it up the middle, gets to the outside, makes it past one Gloucester player. He's wrapped up by 76. That was Mike Tarantino on the play from the kickoff team, and also Jamie Wall was there.
Grant, possibly number 20. Yeah, Kyle Grant.
Right. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Winthrop, just about at the 30-yard line.
Good downfield coverage by the fishermen. But not that bad a field position for Winthrop.
I don't know if they kept track for the first half, but Fusillo is the alternating quarterback starting the second half. It was the other guy, Smith, to start the first half.
Things that you can only learn on our broadcast.
Smith did throw that screen. Here's his draw play. Wow. It's a foot race. He's going to be caught from behind Wilson. But Wilson with the burst up the play. Goodwin. And also there, Testaverde. That's about a 41-yard gain.
That's number 15, co-captain Michael.
I'm sorry, it was Eruzione. It wasn't Wilson. I saw the 5. It was Eruzione.
Yes, that is the liquid hockey co-captain.
Eruzione actually Goodwin duo just too quick, but what a hole in the middle of the Gloucester defensive line.
And that's a 42-yard gain, we'll call it, to the Gloucester 28. So a big play by Eruzione, who actually led Winthrop in rushing in the first half, 3 carries for 26 yards. And Gorino only had 3 carries for 3 yards, although he caught 2 passes for 32 yards. Motion, handoff up the middle. This is another big hole. This is Wilson. Wow. Wilson ahead for a first down. So Winthrop shreds Gloucester in the first 2 plays.
Well, Winthrop obviously saw something in that first half they want to exploit, because they'd gone directly up the center, and then they came from the left side and went a little bit off the right side, but both times huge holes.
27-yard line.
1st and 10 at the Gloucester 18. In spite of what you hear in the background, it's the Gloucester 18. Two big plays for Winthrop. This was wide. This is Wilson. Wilson got more than he should have on the play.
Wilson got the call.
He gets ahead for about 3. It looked like it should have been a 2-yard loss, J.D.
Well, it stands to reason. You go up the middle twice. Gloucester's going to adjust to that, so they try to go wide. But as Gloucester did in the first half, good job of getting down the line defensively, forced to play even wider than he wanted to go. And you're right, Bob, Doe, the fact that he was able to get back and get a couple of yards was a good piece of running.
Okay, Winthrop has been down here before and turned back. Handoff left, big hole, and breaks a tackle, and it's going to be, the ball is down. I don't think it's a fumble. The ball is down.
Brown caused the fumble.
It's going to be 3rd and 2 from about the 10-yard line. Garino with a good burst of speed once he got past the line.
I'll tell you what, we get a bit of an angle here. If he had stepped that out to his right, he was going to score.
Yes.
We can see what he can't see, obviously. He brings it to the left, but does get some yardage.
We'll call it 3rd and 2, right at the 10-yard line. Handoff is up the middle. Ruzioni for a touchdown. Easy. Right up the middle.
Well, they've found something in the middle of the Gloucester defense that they're going after. They're getting somebody blocked, and Winthrop takes it in very quickly here to start the second half. And they got Gloucester back on their heels.
Let's go! Winthrop Vikings 16, Gloucester 7.
I'm sure they'll be going for 1 here, JD, for the 10-point lead. 8:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Plenty of time, but
Winthrop's calling a timeout.
The ease with which Winthrop just went 70 yards is a little astonishing.
Well, the big running plays were absolutely up the middle. Good job by the offensive line of Winthrop. And they, again, found something to go after. They're going after it, and they've got themselves a touchdown. 9-point lead, and they're calling timeout and coming back out and looking to make it a 10-point lead.
Alex Smith does the holding, and the other quarterback, Anthony Fusillo, does the kicking. Straight on. Good snap, good kick. And that one is good.
Good strong.
17-7 Winthrop.
As they come back up the field, the score, Winthrop 17.
Well, we speculated at the start of this half that we'd see what Gloucester would do defensively. They don't stop Winthrop. Winthrop goes pretty much the length of the field, 70 yards to be exact, I think, on the drive. Now Gloucester has to respawn.
Michael Ruzioni, the extra point by Anthony Fusillo. The score, Winthrop 17, Gloucester 7.
And as you can tell, the PA announcer is in his glory. And we should note that he works himself directly behind us as he bellows over the PA. So he's certainly gloating. And everybody listen to the broadcast. If you hear a thud, you see the Bob Dorn and myself dropping the guy. But no, I'm a pacifist. I wouldn't do that. I told Bob Dorn at the beginning of the broadcast we got to endure him. He's a load, but right now his team's got a 10-point lead, and he's going to let us know about it.
Yep. Needless to say, the Fishermen could use a nice, solid return here. Kick is
decent one.
fairly
Into
good
the
one.
win. Good one.
Good one at the 18. Good one comes right. Good one has some blocking, and he'll get ahead over the 35-yard line. Decent field position for the Fishermen.
Co-captain Brendan Murphy brought him down.
Murphy, good job.
Goodwin
looked like he had a little more running room, but Murphy kept him hemmed in over there. Then when Goodwin tried to take it back to the middle of the field, Murphy there to make the stop, but Gloucester's got good field position.
The program says Murphy is 5'10".
No. No. There's a couple things on this program that I'm not buying.
Okay.
What we got to buy now is a nice solid march by the Fishermen. And Gloucester, I think, let me call the timeout.
All right.
No, what are we doing here? We picked the ball up and...
Was it offside with
I didn't see a flag.
Okay, they're going to make him
kick it again with a 5-yard step off.
That's got to be what it is.
Well, that was a little bit strange. I didn't see a flag. Gloucester was all set to come up to the line of scrimmage, and the next thing we know, we're getting another kick.
We all knew this was going to be the longest game of the year.
Bob
right
Drowan has to get out of here. Duty calls. So, unfortunately, it seems that this is going to take a little bit longer than we'd like to, but it can take as long as is necessary for Gloucester to come out of here with a win.
My plan was not to desert a sinking ship. If you had to wrap it up at the end, I thought it was going to be a positive thing.
Well, still plenty of time.
And Winthrop has to kick it and run down the field again.
Interesting enough, Gloucester with decent field position elects to make Winthrop kick it again.
See if this pays off. It's going to be Testaverde up the left side. And he's got a lane.
Paid off.
And he's going to have into Winthrop territory.
He's going.
Oh, no, he's out of bounds. Sorry.
Okay.
And
right in front of the Gloucester bench.
Give Testaverde credit. He caught that on the run, JD, and he was up into Winthrop territory in no time at all. So a good decision by the Gloucester coaching staff. They gained about 14 yards on the play. The last time Testaverde brought one back, Gloucester drove 45 yards for a touchdown. So we hope that's a good sign. They've got 49 yards
49,
to go.
Okay.
8:16 to go. And if we mention that clock a lot, it's because we're down 10.
When you're down, you always look at the clock.
Tight formation. Long count. Good one in motion. It's going to be a pass play. It's a good one in the flat. Good one will get him head for
good
about
open
3.
Field tackle. That was a nice open field tackle.
Yeah. Fusillo and Alex Smith both in the defensive backfield. Fusillo almost plays like a combination linebacker defensive back because he's a big kid, JD.
Goodwin is out for a second. Looks like he's got a little equipment problem. Maybe a little bit of a cramp. Zalski, the trainer, over to take a look.
2 yards on the play. Wall ahead for about 4. Vito Lagrasso was in for Goodwin on that last play as the wingback, number 32.
Goodwin now walking along the sidelines. He looks okay.
Third, and we'll call it a long 4 because it's just inside the 44, and they were in with the territory. Here's the pitch. Testaverde, he's got room. He gets to the outside. He's got a first down.
Got a nice block out there, and I'm not sure who made the block. I got to think it's DeMaio out there. He stood up the corner on that side, or the linebacker on that side. Testaverde, that's a gutsy pitch plays always make me nervous. But nicely executed by
I think
Nolan.
Stropel pulled and had a good block on that play, too. All right, 1st and 10 at the 37 for the Fishermen.
Goodwin back in the game.
He's in motion. It's Wall up the middle. Wall breaking tackles. Wall for another first down inside the 25-yard line.
Good piece of hard running by Wall.
I think it's extremely important for the Fishermen to answer the Winthrop score.
And the thing is, too, as you noted earlier, a lot of these Winthrop kids going both ways, not that much size on the Winthrop team, so Gloucester pounding at them. Hopefully will wear them down some.
Here's a big play. Testaverde with a good catch. Gets to the outside.
Running room.
He's got room. He's going to go in. Nice cutback.
No flags.
No flags. You worry on those pitchbacks, JD.
He didn't handle that one as crisply as he handled the previous one, but he gets to the outside, got some blocks out there, gets down inside the 10. Looks like they had him stopped, cuts it back to the middle of the field, and Gloucester answers as quickly as we hoped they would answer.
24-yard run for Tyler Testaverde on the pitch. The key there was, first of all, just getting the ball, and then the nice cutback after he got around to the outside. 17-13, Gloucester going for the point. Keating, good hold. Kick is up.
Strong and good.
Kick is good. It's 17-14. And it's 6:17 to go, and it took Gloucester less than 2.5 minutes to respond.
About as quickly as you could possibly hope for. We got to keep an eye on Kyle Goodwin. He's got a what appears to be some cramps. Wall was besieged by them a little bit last week, and Kyle keeps on trying to stretch that leg out. But Testaverde gets into the end zone. Keating gets the extra point, and Gloucester right back in. And now is the time we make a little bit of a defensive stand. And I am sure that whatever Winthrop exploited in the middle of the Gloucester defense on their last touchdown drive, hopefully will be corrected.
Winthrop will have that trio back. Aruzioni and Garino on flanking Wilson as a deep man. Leo Latraverse will kick off for Gloucester.
Here's the split the jackpot lucky ticket. 195987. 195987.
We're chuckling. We didn't even get the first number. That's impossible on the 6 numbers.
All right, we're here at Miller Field. We've got a good Northeastern Conference high school football game going. Give Winthrop credit. They're playing tough, and they zoomed 70 yards with that second half kickoff, so this is a little bit of a crucial time. Latraverse with a good boot. This is back inside the 5-yard line. Wilson comes up the middle. He's got a little hole, but not much. He gets up to the 27, perhaps.
He got in behind a wedge. They had a pretty good wedge out in front of him. He got what he could get out of it. I believe that's Wall.
Jamie Wall in the play, yeah.
And I think Vito Gigaloni was there helping. But Gloucester just
Josh
broke the wall.
Rosa, 25 on the kickoff team.
Okay, Gloucester broke the wall down a little bit.
Chances are we're not going to be mentioning the names of too many subs tonight, JD.
Fernando Hernandez into the Gloucester defensive line.
First and 10 at the 27. Alex Smith rolls right.
Flag.
He's got a deep pass along the sideline. And that was Goodwin and Ishai King. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Jack Reed and Goodwin.
Actually, the collision, Goodwin had a bead on it. I think the collision between the two Gloucester defenders may have, because the up defender can't see what a nice look Goodwin was getting at it, but they did bump into one another. It goes incomplete, but we have a flag on the play.
I think it could be a hold. We'll see if Gloucester wants to put him back 10 yards. And it looks like they will. First and 20 would look pretty good right now.
They do step it off. 10 yards. Back inside the 20.
Still waiting for the first punt of the game. Just under 6 minutes. Winthrop has shown the ability to get big plays, but first and 20 in this portion of the field could be a little bit tough. Gloucester wants to keep the pressure on. Handoff, and this is the same play up the middle, and Gloucester gets it this time. I don't think Danny Wilson gets about 2, maybe. Jack Reed is there.
Comes in late to help out, left side of the Gloucester defensive line. As we've noted before, Hernandez, the biggest youngster on the Gloucester team. So he's a load for that offensive line to have to block.
We've got Liam Kelleher in there at defensive end, number 55. Second and 18. Man in motion. Looking deep. Oh, that one could have been picked off if it had been a little lower. That was not the best
King,
throw of the night
right
by
there.
Smith.
Now, rolling to his right, two defenders had a better, the two defenders, King and Goodwin had a better look at it.
All right, this is a big play now. If Gloucester can force a punt here, they should once again get what we want, JD, a short field.
And that's why Gloucester took the penalty, obviously, is to force them into a long situation.
Fusillo is the quarterback for this play. He has shown a little bit stronger arm. He was 3 out of 6 for 42 yards in the first half.
And
now he's going to call
now
a
they call a
timeout.
timeout. Gloucester did something defensively, showed him something defensively that he didn't like when he came up to the line of scrimmage. Took a look, calls a timeout. This is a big play for Winthrop. You are in a position 3rd and 18. You want to convert, but putting the ball up, Gloucester's pass defense has been around the ball quite a bit, so you're a little bit reluctant.
And this is pretty much a 30-second timeout. It appears they're not going to have everybody running over to the sideline for a change.
Yeah, when you see them gesture the hands to the shoulder pads, that's they're asking for a 30-second. Now they're set.
All right, they've got a receiver out to the right, and that should be Brendan Murphy. We got a man in motion, Garino. They've got handoff up the middle that didn't work. It was a little bit of a misdirection play, but it was very slow developing misdirection
Very slow
play.
developing. That's exactly what I was going to say. Little too slow, and Gloucester read it nicely, and just too many yards for that slow developing play.
Now we find out who punts for Winthrop. I've been waiting all night to find out. I know Leo Traverse punts for us. 17-14 Winthrop. Clock
Dropping
moving.
just Goodwin back.
And I guess it's Garino is the punter. Goodwin is a single safety. I'm sorry, it's 36. It's Duplin on the kick, 36.
Goodwin
fumbles it, and it's Winthrop ball.
So Winthrop forced to punt, puts one out around midfield, is handled by Gloucester, and Winthrop gets the ball back.
Yeah.
So Gloucester would have had excellent field position, but instead Winthrop has the ball over midfield in Gloucester territory.
And the Gloucester defense is going to be out there a little bit longer.
Danny Wilson has recovered the Gloucester fumble.
Dan Wilson, the halfback, is credited with getting down there to recover the fumble. And the Gloucester defense will be tested once again.
I'm joined in the press box by one of my favorite ex-Winthrop High School guys.
Alex Smith gets the call at quarterback on first down. Handoff over to the left side. And ahead for about 3 or 4.
Stopped
and that
by
was Garino. Make it 2nd and 7 for Winthrop. Getting the people up front for Winthrop, Adam Sullivan, 78. Jordan Crest, 71.
Fernandez is back in the game for the Fishermen.
Okay. Brian Brow, Aaron Smith, and Sean Kirby. Fusillo checks in at quarterback. Handoff over the left side again, and ahead for about 3. Tripped up on the
I
play.
think it might have been Strobel.
Strobel, yep, 52.
Got a piece.
Pizzamenti was there also.
Looked like there was a little bit more there than they ended up with.
Inside linebackers are Strobel and Mann. Outside linebackers are Reed and Pizzamenti. Goodwin and Testerbury at the corners. Ishai King at safety. Dan O'Connor at one end, Robbie Morrissey the other right now. Gloucester shows a little bit of a 5-3. Handoff over the left side, and it's going to be shy of a first down. It's a territory where there's a decision to be made, JD.
Interesting to see what they do. 3-point lead on the scoreboard. Do you gamble a little bit, or do you pin the Fishermen back and let your defense do some work?
Well, we got the left foot spot, so it's a full yard.
Nate Denon checks in.
They've run left 3 straight times. They've got 3 yards on each of the plays. Therefore, the theory would be if we run left one more time. Big play. There's been a lot of big plays in this game thus far, but it's a 17-14 Winthrop lead.
They are going to go for it.
And they are.
Winthrop now calls a timeout.
Well, we want to make sure they don't run out.
Okay. Very critical as we wind it down in the third period. As we said, Winthrop with a 3-point lead. The longer they can hang on to the football, harder it is to cross the score.
Yes. All right, this is going to be one of those timeouts where everybody goes over to the side. So I'll take this opportunity to once again thank the supporters of Gloucester High School football, Gloucester High School athletics on Adelphia Channel 12, Cape Ann Savings Bank, Chickaloni Construction, the Sports Zone, and Glover's Floor Covering. We thank you for your support. They're supposed to do a little restoration project here. They may have a whole new field here someday, JD. But I don't know what they're going to do with the announcer. Maybe they'll give him his own booth somewhere in another town.
Well, the thing he does is he races down to the other end of the booth, looks out the door, screaming like a banshee, I guess.
It's not an announcer. It's an aerobic exercise.
I know. No wonder he stays in shape. He covers more ground during the football game than any of the running backs.
But we know it's a good thing to be excited about high school football. We've he mentioned before the game that this has been quite a period for Gloucester sports, and he wouldn't deny it. But although he was
he's
also waxing poetic
know.
about the days of Winthrop of yore.
And well, he should. Winthrop turned out some fine football teams here for a number of years. Now we're set to go.
All right, we've got Fusillo at quarterback. He's big enough to sneak it. We've got 8 men in the box here for the Fishermen.
Long count.
We've got the handoff left.
He's got
and
it.
It's going to be a first down, and it's another 3-yard gain.
Well, growing, as you said, 3 yards per on carries to the left. They come back to the left again, get another 3 yards, and a big Winthrop first down.
All right. They'll reset the markers, and the clock is running. We'll be under 2 minutes when Winthrop gets his play off. And if Winthrop can get something out of this drive, JD, the Fishermen are in big trouble. They're already in reasonable trouble.
They get their hands full right now.
Alex Smith is the QB. Handoff, no, fake. He's got a man deep.
Wide open.
Wide open. And
Wide
it's
open.
A first and goal inside the 10. And is that 35?
We get a flag on the play, and it's holding against Winthrop, so it's coming back.
Big holding play.
Winthrop's coaching staff, now we can see the flag. It's in front of the Winthrop bench.
Okay.
So the jubilation on the Winthrop sidelines turns to frustration as the Winthrop coaching staff is absolutely beside themselves.
And what would have been a big play for Winthrop goes back. So most of the penalties on the night have been against Winthrop.
Well,
and they've had major penalties.
Well, the hold was instrumental in him having the time that he needed. He got enough time, and he had a receiver wide open. As soon as he let that ball go, you look downfield, and all you could see was a Viking shirt.
I believe it was Wilson on the play coming out of the backfield. And of course, they faked first, and that gave him a chance to come out of the backfield. All right, 1st and 20. Wilson in motion. This is a handoff up the middle. This is, once again, a Ruzioni. He's got good yards. Ball on the ground.
Thinks they have it.
This call is crucial. Still going to be Winthrop ball.
Must have come loose after he hit the ground.
He got half of the yardage back. Call it technically 2nd and 11 on the play. But Ruzioni has been the back that we didn't know about here.
Well, let's give some credit to this Winthrop offensive line, too. They've opened up some nice holes. And Ruzioni, as you said, taking advantage.
Brendan Murphy split to the left. Handoff is left. Gloucester strings it out. No, Grado gets around the corner. missed tackle there, and we didn't think they could run wide, and they just ran wide, J.D.
I can't pick out the Winthrop number, but he got a nice block walking back, maybe 80, is it an 80? Walking back towards the huddle. For Winthrop, I'm colorblind.
68, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. That's how colorblind I am. 68, 80 looks like 68.
Okay.
But it was a nice block out there. Good piece of running after he got the block. That's Grover for Winthrop. So Winthrop shakes off the penalty, comes back, gets the first down.
They gained 22 yards in 2 plays. It's 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line of the Fishermen, and Gloucester has only had the ball for about 2 minutes in the whole quarter. There's a run to the left. That's tripped up on the play by O'Connor. Good play by O'Connor. Good penetration. 68.
Got in underneath. And
no gain.
As the play developed, it looked like he did have some running room, but O'Connor came in underneath. Trips him up.
This could be the last play of the 3rd period if it's a run.
And why not? They've been successful on the ground.
Are running the ball well.
They do split wide right.
Wilson to the left. And there's a double reverse, and that doesn't go anywhere. Slowed up by Rob Morrissey. If he had got a square hit, it would have cost him, but the main thing is he was there. And it's about a 2-yard
back
gain.
To the inside.
And that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter, I believe. And it was a 3-point lead for Winthrop at the half, and there continues to be a 3-point lead, 17-14. We'll be back with the crucial 4th quarter momentarily. Welcome back to a exciting high school football game between Gloucester and Winthrop. Winthrop on top, 17-14. I'm Bob Drowan along with J.D. McEachran, and we've got Bob McGlinchey up on the roof in the wind, and he's probably, the fact that the game is so heated is probably keeping Bob a little bit better off here on the last Saturday in September. We've got a 3rd down and 8, J.D. It may be a little bit out of field goal range. This is probably more like 4-down territory for them.
Well, the wind again should be, although, okay, it's still blowing out there, not quite as hot as I think it was a little while ago, but it is at their back, and he has shown strength of leg. But Winthrop also has been moving the ball, so we'll have to see what develops on this play. Then.
They got it at the 22-yard line. They need 8 yards to renew the downs. We've got a man in motion there. It's a straight rollout by Fusillo. He's got a man on the sideline, and he's caught. No, he dropped it. He dropped it, and he was out, I think. It's a combination.
I think he was out of bounds. I think he was in bounds when he went up. When he caught the ball, he landed out of bounds.
The ball wound up on the ground.
And the ball wound up on the ground.
If he had the ball, it was for a very brief time.
Well, I think this is a little bit too far for the field goal thought. So it is certainly a big defensive play for Gloucester, and now they
are
going to call a timeout.
This was another one where they appeared to be asking for 30 seconds.
Smith will be the quarterback as they stay with the alternating. Normally when you alternate quarterbacks, it's either by series or what have you, but this one is
we're going to go for the full, go to the bench timeout. They must have heard that I had something to do. All right, we just had one play to start the 4th quarter. Now we'll have a nice timeout, chat it over. This is a big play, of course, 4th and 8.
Oh, this is critical. Well, it's critical for both teams. Time winding down. Gloucester only down by 3. But Winthrop able to convert the first down if they were able to put a touchdown up on the scoreboard. The Fishermen, I think, would be hard-pressed.
And it's been a while since Gloucester has had the ball with a chance to take the lead. They responded quickly when they got behind by 10, and they responded quickly when they got behind by 7. But Winthrop trying to take advantage of the fumble, and on the special teams.
Well, as we said before, this is a veteran Gloucester coaching staff augmented by the addition of Coach Tom Cato. They know what they want to do, and they probably the most difficult thing they got to do right now is just make sure that they can keep the kids into this, focus, remember your assignments, we know what we're doing. We'll see what Winthrop comes with.
Okay, they got receivers out to the left and right. Smith is going to roll.
Drop, rolling.
He's going to continue to roll. He's got a man open right inside the 10, and Murphy with the ball. And it's Winthrop with a big score. And Gloucester did not cover him.
Did not, and he breaks loose. Who was the receiver? I'm sorry.
Murphy, Brendan Murphy.
Okay, Murphy, a good job. Smith rolled to his right. I think he was looking for a little bit of running room.
Yeah.
He didn't see the running room. He stopped. Murphy sensed that he was indeed going to put the ball up. Murphy breaks to the inside, gets himself loose. Smith puts it right there. Murphy does the rest of it.
Murphy kept the play going, and it wound up in a 22-yard touchdown pass, and that last move for the score was just brilliant. Here comes the extra point from Fusillo. We know that he's got the leg. Good. Oh, that one could be wide.
Oh, that was good. Strong and good.
As they come back up the field, the score: Winthrop 24, lost to 14.
Well,
we're home of the champions, by the way.
Well, with 10:40.
34 games in a row. Then we'll talk to you.
Okay, we
and as you can see,
seeing the height of rudeness from the Winthrop PA guy, but that's he's a revisionist. He's back years ago when Winthrop won 34 in a row. Hey.
22-yard touchdown run. 22-yard touchdown completion from Alex Smith to number 84, co-captain Brendan Murphy. The extra point by Anthony Fusillo to score. Winthrop 24, lost to 14.
Okay, as you can tell, the announcer up here is yelling in our ears.
Joe is working with this guy, and Joe's a real nice kid, and I've known Joe all his life, and he's got to put up with this. It's too bad.
I don't mind the enthusiasm,
but
but
enjoy it. But when you start screaming in our ear and talking about history, then hey, game's not over yet.
I really, really want Gloucester to come back now. So let's go, boys. 24-14. Tyler Testaverde up the left side, cuts back. He's got a little hole on the sideline, and he'll get ahead for some yardage. He'll get out to the 30-yard line. 10:34 to go, JD. Gloucester can score. They can score quickly, but they're probably going to put it in the air a little bit now.
Plenty of time, though. They need a sustained drive. A quick one would be nice. But Winthrop, obviously, is a pumped-up team now defensively. The offense has done the job. The Winthrop defense, as you noted, Bob, these kids are going two ways, a lot of them. But their adrenaline has got to be sky high, so Gloucester's got to be careful. If they're going to get a little adventurous on offense, no mistakes.
First down and 10 for Gloucester. Powell's over the fake. He rolls right. He's got plenty of time. He's got a man over the middle, and it's a completion. They're calling it. Goodwin caught the ball, and he was down.
The Winthrop coaching staff doesn't think so, but they're calling it a completion.
It's going to be a first down for Gloucester at the 41-yard line. That he caught it, and he was down.
Somebody on the sideline is calling for the replay. The ball came loose after Goodwin was down. He rolled over, and the ball did come loose, but the official very quickly called it a completion. First down, Gloucester.
Calzone with the screen pass, and a great play.
Wow.
Is the ball loose?
No, incomplete.
No, it's going to be incomplete. It's going to be incomplete. It was close.
What a hit defensively.
Great hit.
Gloucester set up. That was virtually a one-man screen.
Yeah.
He did have a blocker, and the Winthrop defender right by the blocker smacked Testaverde as soon as he caught the ball. They call it incomplete.
Well, the Winthrop fans are into it now, JD. I'd say we got a crowd of about 400 here tonight, perhaps.
A good crowd on the Gloucester side, as you can expect. Now they reset the ball because it was called an incompletion.
10-11 to go.
Yeah, Winthrop with some people, and as you said, they are into it.
2nd and 10, Fisherman at the 41. Just an incompletion. It could have been a killer, but just an incompletion. Hand off to Wall. Wall goes nowhere.
Winthrop defensive line, waiting for that one.
Wall carrying Matthew Duplin.
You can tell that Winthrop is starting to feel it now, JD.
It's going to be 3rd down and 11 and a big play.
Gloucester needs a big play to get this Winthrop defense a little deflated. Right now, they are sky high and making defensive plays.
Big 3rd down for Gloucester. Palazzolo has it on the fake. Palazzolo with the move and gets ahead for about a 2-yard gain. They stop him. Didn't get a man open. And Winthrop is getting people to the ball on either side of the line.
Sullivan was down deep, but Palazzolo forced to roll to his left. Again, there's a hard throw for a right-hander. And good coverage by Winthrop.
Wilson on the tackle.
Ross is going to have to punt it away. Now the clock becomes a factor as it is under 9 minutes.
Leo LaTraverse is the Gloucester kicker. Long snap. Trying to get him to jump off, then they might have gone for it. Oh, terrible kick.
Good
Gloucester bounce. That's about it. Winthrop's going to have it at about the 41-yard line, though, JD.
Excellent field position.
8:27 to go. Gloucester needs a 3-and-out badly.
Winthrop has done a good job of protecting the football thus far this game. And now they can actually get a little conservative with their offense. They got a 10-point lead, 8.5 minutes to go. So they just want to get that clock to move.
And they're going to try and grind it out, definitely. Tight format. Well, no, they do have a receiver set out to the left. Handoff is right up the middle and goes for about 2.
Michael Ruzioni got the call.
That's a play that's worked for Ruzioni on occasion, and that time he got just 2 yards as Gloucester made the play.
It keeps the clock moving, though. That's right now. That's the main thing they want to do. Of course, they'd love to go down and punch something in and put this game away. But the main thing is keep the clock.
You've seen a lot of Winthrop victories. You see the guy on your left with the center on it. One of Winthrop's greatest football teams. Could this be one of Winthrop's greatest victories? This is it. You know,
Under 8 minutes to go now. Winthrop is going to take their time in the huddle.
I want him good luck. I saw your dad today at the golf course. He even told me we were going to win tonight. So he's a little. Heard from you. He said you were wound up for this game. He told me. Wound up for a game.
Handoff over the left side, and that one goes for just a couple. Good penetration in there.
This is the best team I've seen.
Boy, I'm having trouble with the reflection.
Right side.
I think that was O'Connor.
Should be O'Connor.
Yeah.
Had him stopped in the backfield. Did stumble ahead. Probably got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe picked up a yard. Ball on the 45, but that clock is moving.
Third down.
This
and
is
about
definitely,
6.
they need to stop here.
Yes.
They cannot let Winthrop renew the downs.
So you're going to shake all the hands. That's all. You are Winthrop's, what, number 3 fan? Besides me and Gus?
They don't get a stop here. It'll have to start using the timeout soon, JD, because they need 2 scores. It's 24-14 Winthrop. There's a rollout.
On, Alex.
March. This could be picked off. Nice play. Jack Reed was there. That was an ill-advised throw that could have gone the wrong way for Winthrop.
They did Gloucester a favor. Reed knocks it down, stops the clock. Winthrop's going to have to punt it away. So a little interesting. I'm sure what they wanted to do is they figured they had Gloucester thinking Winthrop run and cross him up a little bit. But good coverage in the Gloucester secondary. Reed knocks it down, and Winthrop is going to punt it away.
Always Winthrop's number 2 football team behind me. He is. The representative, Robert DeLeo, can
It will be Kyle Goodwin in the sole safety on the play. See if Gloucester tries to put some pressure on this one. Low snap.
They do come. Oh, they dismiss him.
It's a good punt.
Goodwin
And
backs
Goodwin
away
falls
from it.
down.
And this is going to back the Fishermen up.
It's going to be inside the 10-yard line, I believe.
10.
Great punt. 6:38 to go.
Gloucester did come after it. Three white shirts converged, able to get it away.
Well, the key sequence, JD, may turn out to be Gloucester cuts it to 17-14. They force the Winthrop punt, and then they turn it over. And Winthrop eventually converts.
Now they are forced to open up that offense a little more than they would like to.
DeMaio out to the left. I feel it's Goodwin to the right. It's a draw play. Jamie Wall gets ahead for about 8.
Gloucester in a hurry up. They've called 2 plays.
All right. They're going with the no huddle. Goodwin split to the left. Testaverde in motion. And
still fighting
good
out
gain
there.
over there.
That's Testaverde.
Testaverde had it okay. First down. Of course, the clock stops on the first down. Testaverde has 70 yards in the first half. He really hasn't touched the ball that much in the second half. He does have the touchdown that made it the 24-yard touchdown. So he's probably up over 100 yards, but right now the story is on the scoreboard. Palazzolo drops deep.
Good time.
Now he looks.
Now he doesn't have a receiver. Good coverage by Winthrop. Palazzolo gets out of bounds.
Gloucester seemed to have 2 guys running about the same area of the field, JD.
Good downfield coverage, though, by Winthrop as Nolan had time, it appeared, but when he looked downfield, he saw too many Viking shirts.
Again, the no huddle.
Forced to keep the ball himself.
And that's going to be motion, I believe, against Gloucester. And that's what comes when you're trying to rush from the no huddle, JD.
Well, Gloucester hasn't found themselves in this type of a situation too often, so it's nothing that I'm sure it's something that you work on. And again, Nolan Palazzolo is a veteran quarterback, veteran offensive coordinator, and Paul Ingram. They do communicate well together, but as we know, that the offense is always called from the sidelines. Palazzolo goes to the sidelines for every play, so if he comes back with 2 plays, then that's a little something different that they're hearing in the huddle. Now there is a timeout, both teams on their respective sidelines, and Gloucester has got themselves in a pickle.
5:25 to go, and I'm trying to hang in here as long as I can.
Don't desert me now, Kim.
Well, I also don't.
I know what you got to do. So.
I don't want to desert because I want Gloucester to come back, and I want to make up for this guy. Sure, I do. But you know, Winthrop has given a great effort here tonight.
Oh.
Gloucester has made some mistakes.
Oh yeah,
and
positively.
You paid for your mistakes. I
Yes.
mean, just because I'm not happy with the public address announcer here doesn't mean that I don't respect
it doesn't
Winthrop's
take anything
effort.
away from what Winthrop is doing.
Winthrop's doing a heck of a job. Gloucester has paid for their mistakes, and dearly. Right now I'm paying for the fact that we got rained out last night. Handoff is up the middle, and that didn't work. Okay, I think
Winthrop was looking for that, and they had that well stacked up. Gloucester
3rd and 4
with a no huddle.
Palazzolo's got it. He's got a man open deep. It's going to be a deflection. It's Sullivan with the catch. That's a big play for Gloucester.
Oh, what a break.
It looked like it was going to go the other way, and it popped up in the air, and Sullivan was down for the pattern, the tight end, and he made the catch sure-handedly.
Winthrop had that intercepted, that would have been ball game. Bounces away, Sullivan there, keeps his eye on it, and gives Gloucester some life.
Palazzolo now he's going to spike it. Okay. I guess they wanted to get another play. They weren't prepared, but that just wasted down, JD.
Well, the thing is, though, obviously they're going to score now, but they've got to get the football back. They've got to hang on to their timeouts if possible. They're looking for the big strike. The clock is under 5 minutes, and that is not that much time when you're looking at a 10-point deficit.
All right, second down and 10 after the spike play. Testaverde, right side. He's got blockers. He cuts back. He's going to be close to another first down. He might have it. And they're going to, I'm either going to mark it at first down inside the 25-yard line.
Again, Gloucester with the no huddle. A little confusion.
Oh, they're going to have to reset the markers here? Okay. Palazzolo.
No flag?
No flag at all. He's going to get rid of it.
Palazzolo, big, there he goes. Uh-oh.
Oh, what a play!
Catch.
He catches the ball on the sideline. What a play! It looked like he was throwing it away. Goodwin makes a great play. Somebody
looked like he was throwing it away. He was definitely throwing it away.
And wasn't there a penalty on somebody when that play started?
Let's give Nolan some credit. He saw Kyle all the way.
Yeah, he saw.
If he could see over those 3 Viking shirts that were converging on him.
He was just trying to throw it out of bounds, folks. But it may have worked. Well, this good fortune for the Fishermen on the deflection.
Well, fortunately, Nolan backpedaling has got one strong arm because he got a long way downfield, and Goodwin, the athlete that he is, makes the play.
First and 10 at the 16. Palazzolo draws back.
Oh!
That one's knocked down.
Whoa.
Thrown into...
Trying to thread it through there. That was almost a disaster.
4:25 remaining, second and 10.
Does stop the clock.
Nolan Palazzolo's pass broken up by number 66, Brian Brew. Third down, 3 Fishermen. They're at the Winthrop 16-yard line.
Brew, the defender for Winthrop, was vicious as sugar plums dancing in his head because he was off to the races.
Okay, it's actually third down now. That was even though it was such a long pass, it was only a 7-yard gain. So it's 3rd and 3 from the 16. Here's a pitch, Testaverde, and that's not going to work. That's great play by Winthrop.
Good.
Winthrop was ready for that one.
Outside.
So now here comes the play of the game for Gloucester.
Gloucester's going to call
wait a minute. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, was that a 4th down? Did we have the 4th down? Yeah, it was 4th down because of the spike.
That's right.
It was 4th down.
Yeah.
We were looking at the scoreboard. It was a 4th down play because they had
Winthrop
the spike.
takes over.
Yeah, Winthrop takes over.
The spike. Gloucester spiked it. That was a down.
Okay.
Testaverde carried. Brendan Murphy brought him
Winthrop
down.
takes over. Yeah, the spike was a down.
No, the spike. The spike made it 4th down.
Yeah, so that was a 4th down play. We apologize. I mentioned the spike, and now but then I went by the scoreboard, and I also thought that that pass play had gone so far over the first down.
But
having trouble reading the markers.
Retreated 20-odd, maybe 25 yards. Heck of a throw to get it down there to Goodwin, but the spike ends up costing them a down.
The spike wasn't the series. They got the first down on the pass. That should be Gloucester's ball 4th down.
There's some confusion here,
Now we got
folks.
some confusion.
All right, and JD, I'm going to have to leave you in the middle of the confusion. I'm sorry.
Well, you're usually better at recapping
I know.
than I am.
Well, I remember the spike. I thought that.
Did the spike precede the Palazzolo to Goodwin completion?
I thought the spike came, and then we had the first down on the Testaverde run to the 24. I think it is 4th down. I think they've got it wrong.
Okay.
I don't think the spike is a factor.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's 4th down. I think that. Yeah. Okay. At any rate, JD.
Yeah, well, we have to go ahead, Bob.
Okay.
You got to go.
Figure out some way to root this one in.
Yeah.
And I
This is going to
apologize.
take all of my powers. I'll do my best.
I
Sorry that
apologize
you
to
have
the
to
fans
go.
that I had a previous commitment.
Dave McMiniman's going to slide up here, and maybe he can help me with spotting a little bit. Bob Drowan, unfortunately, has something that he has to do. It was scheduled before this game was rescheduled. The confusion reigns. Let's see what we have. And then now they're coming back, and they're saying it's Winthrop football. So apparently the spike was indeed part of that series. The two guys to our right keep a running tally. Doc Enos is over there, and the Winthrop writer. And they were saying fourth and four. But Winthrop has taken over, 4 minutes to go, and they go off the left side for a couple of yards. The main thing they want to do is move the clock. Dave McMiniman, we're seeing a very interesting, but unfortunately for the Fishermen, the game is interesting, but this Winthrop team is giving them a little bit more than they expected.
Yeah, Winthrop is well drilled. Both of their quarterbacks have played really well. I just checked with the Lynn Item writer, and according to his play-by-play, it should have been Gloucester should have had the ball 4th and 4, and that's a tough break. But all that aside, Winthrop has played a tremendous game tonight.
Oh, take absolutely nothing away. The Gloucester coaching staff questioned it. The referee went over. They went through it. Both the Lynn Item guy and John Doc Enos keep running tallies on every play, but the officials have made a call. Winthrop's got the ball, and they're in the driver's seat. Left side for a couple yards. Garino on the carry.
I've been impressed with both of Winthrop's young quarterbacks tonight. They alternate them on every play.
Well, I think that's really difficult. I've seen alternating quarterbacks. We said earlier in the broadcast, normally when you alternate, it's a series or a couple of series or what have you. You very, very seldom see this, and you certainly don't see it work as well as worked here tonight for Winthrop.
There's no drop-off in play. If they didn't wear different numbers, you'd think it was the same quarterback. They don't miss a beat. And Tony Fusillo has always done a good job coaching here at this school. Terry Silva said it in the paper this week. Considering the size of the school, what they have to work with, I know their money in their program has been depleted quite a bit. Year in and year out, he always has a good team, and he showed it tonight. And my hat's off to Winthrop. They just outplayed the Fishermen tonight.
Big third down. Get a flag on the play. They're looking to roll out. This is Smith over here, and he's calling it a completion. That would be a first down, but there's a flag over on the far side of the field. Let's see what the call is.
Offside, Gloucester.
So Smith, completion to the sideline, under 4 minutes remaining.
Alex Smith's pass complete to Brendan Murphy.
Murphy on the reception. Good job by Smith.
Lost up.
The receiver, Brendan Murphy, has played well tonight, too. He comes back to the ball, and he's got good hands. Did a nice job of keeping his feet in bounds.
Well, we didn't really hear about Eruzione coming into the game, and he's done a nice job.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a step-up effort by Winthrop, no question. Straight out. Another first down. This is Eruzione again, up to the 45. And credit to the Winthrop offensive line, too, particularly the beginning of the second half. They come out, they ran that ball up the middle very successfully. They saw something at halftime. They exploited it. And size-wise, I don't quite believe what I read in the Winthrop program. It looks like Gloucester, even though it's not the biggest defensive line that the Fishermen have put out over the last few years, but I think the Winthrop offensive line has done a great job.
Yeah, they've done an excellent job. They've come off the ball in the second half, and they've really carried the play to the Fishermen in the second half.
Left side, little spin move. Garino on the carry. Garino hanging out of the ball, but spins away from a tackler. Puts the ball into Gloucester territory.
You know, coming into this game, JD, it was Garino and Wilson who got all the ink for Winthrop. I think they each scored 5 touchdowns in the first 2 games, but it's been the other people that have stepped up tonight. The people we just talked about, Smith and Fusillo at quarterback, Ruzioni at fullback, Murphy at wide receiver, and then the Winthrop offensive line. Those are the people that really rose to the occasion tonight.
Right side, gets a block, first down. Prester leads him out there. And all Winthrop has to do now is hang on to the football.
Yeah.
Excellent job. Excellent job of preparation. Excellent job of execution. Winthrop's going to be in no hurry, obviously, to get up to the line of scrimmage. They'll take a 5-yarder now, even for a delay. As we go down to the 2-minute warning. So a daunting task facing the Fishermen.
Yeah.
It's a first down for Winthrop. They've got a 10-point lead, and Gloucester's got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to find any miracles here on a Saturday night in Winthrop.
No, it's early in the season, JD. The Fishermen certainly have time to regroup. And they have a couple of big games coming up. Lynn English next week. Lynn Classical the week after that at Newell Stadium.
Well, I think this would give an indication, as I think it's Garino off the left side, for a couple. This is an indication that we've probably got a wide open league here.
Yeah.
And Gloucester would still have destiny in their own hands. They're going to need some help from some friends out there, because Winthrop would be undefeated in the conference after tonight. But Gloucester, as you said, David, English coming to town, followed by Classical. And Gloucester just has to back to the drawing board, regroup, and just keep on playing good Fisherman football and let things happen as they may happen.
What's interesting is Winthrop, this is their second conference game because they played Saugus last week. They play Revere on Thanksgiving Day. So this makes them 2-0, and they're in first place by themselves. Of course, they still have to play Classical and Swampscott and English, but those will all be interesting games.
People have looked at a 2-0 record for Winthrop and dismissed the record because of their opponents. Now see that this is a good Winthrop football team.
Yeah.
Wilson, couple yards. Gloucester calls the timeout again. And they're going to have to eat these timeouts, so even if they can get the ball back, they've still got to score twice. And as much as we're rooting for them, I don't know how that's going to happen.
Right. It's been an excellent high school football game. I was at Manning Bowl last night, and I saw Swampscott beat English in overtime, and that game in no way compares to this game. It was a sloppy game. The conditions weren't good. It was wet out, but there were interceptions, turnovers. This has been a much more well-executed game.
Well, interestingly enough, the high-powered Swampscott offense didn't do any of the scoring. They scored off of their defense.
Right, and they got a field goal in overtime. And Beatrice was intercepted 4 times. And that's who the Fishermen face next week, is English, which typical English team. They have size, they have speed, they have some good athletes. So it'll be an interesting game next Friday night at Newell Stadium.
It is homecoming, and they'll be introducing the Hall of Fame inductees. And it's going to be a game where we're going to find out just exactly what the Fishermen are made of.
Right.
The important thing is they're hanging on to the football.
Right.
It was Pizzamenti on the stop.
Gloucester must not have any timeouts left because the clock is running, and by the time this next play gets off, we should be under the 1-minute mark. It's 4th and 12.
Yeah, and if Gloucester's got a 10 or 11 point play, and with less than a minute to go.
Yeah, they better
nothing
pull it
we're
out.
aware of.
Winthrop's just going to let the clock run down.
Right.
They took a delay game penalty.
They'll probably pooch a little punt down there, or they may not even elect to do that.
Yeah, they can
may
just sit on it.
not risk a bad snap. Let's see what they do.
I would just kick it away. I wouldn't even give them a chance to make anything happen. That's a dangerous play, and why give them the opportunity? You don't give them any chance at all.
Gloucester with some wholesale substitutions.
Matt Duple punt formation.
Winthrop is going to punt.
Goodwin, the deep man. Good snap. They came after it. They don't get it. Kick it away from Goodwin.
They go in the end zone.
It rolls in the end zone, so Gloucester will get the ball at the 20. But as we said, I don't think they're going to 10 or 11 point play. Whatever they're going to do, they got 46 seconds to do it and no timeouts. And you know Winthrop on the snap is just going to be backpedaling, keep everything in front of them. We'll do a quick wrap-up on this. Bob McGlinchey on the move, and frankly, I don't want the Winthrop PA announcer screaming in my ear anymore.
It's always interesting to do a game in the Winthrop press box, JD.
Thanks for bearing with it, David. He's a bit much. He's warming up.
Yeah.
Incomplete on the pass. It does stop the clock, but it doesn't move the football. Miles splits to this side. Goodwin split to the far side. Palazola, quick look out there.
Goodwin
to
fell
Goodwin.
down.
But a little miscommunication maybe.
Yeah.
I think Goodwin might have been trying to curl in. And
Like his
Nolan
feet
just basically took one step back and fired, and Goodwin was going one way, the ball went the other way. Another incompletion. Does stop the clock, but again, no forward motion. 3rd and 10. Palazola out here to DeMaio, who can't handle it. Winthrop had that covered. He wasn't going anyplace, even if he caught the ball.
Looks like they're just trying to throw some quick outs and hope that the receiver can get out
break
of bounds.
something. Gloucester, 4th and 10. So David, thanks for jumping in.
My pleasure,
Bob
JD.
Drowan had to get on out of here. And Gloucester elects to put it on the ground as they try to get the first down that way. Winthrop stops them. Winston starts the celebration, and deservedly so. Good job by the Winthrop Vikings. Again, though, it's a long season. A lot of things can happen. If you're going to take a loss, you'd rather do it early in the season when you still have a long way to go. And hopefully the Fishermen, as again was said, they got an outstanding coaching staff. The personnel we think are there. What happened tonight is just an outstanding job on the Winthrop side of the football. They did it offensively. They did it defensively. The coach had them ready. A lot of stuff going on. Alternating quarterbacks, and it worked. And they just run it out, finally take a knee. Fishermen can't stop the clock. They're going to let it run out. Dave McMiniman, we're going to get Bob McGlinchey down from the roof. We're going to get out of this press box for a whole lot of reasons. We're going to be at Newell Stadium next Friday night as we hope that the Fishermen will get back to their winning ways. I want to thank you for sitting in. I want to say for Bob Drowan, and Bob McGlinchey, this is J.D. McCachran for Adelphia Cable saying till next time, so long.
Many thanks.